Happy first day of summer. I'm super excited to bring you new summer book releases. Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Alright, so this is going to be taking place from literally the first day of summer, which is June 20th, all the way through the last day of summer, which is September 22nd. I'm going to be talking about romance new releases, fantasy, mystery thriller, horror, and a few general fiction books. So grab a drink, grab a snack, and join me for probably what's going to be a long video. I'm going to try not to yap too much about each of these books, so I'm going to try to keep it brief and short. I'm not going to provide you with a ton of synopses unless for some reason I feel the need to go into one, but for the most part I'm going to pull out some buzzwords from each of these that make me really excited to read each of these books. We're going to be starting with romance because that is my favorite genre. I am someone who primarily reads romance, and I would say that I read lots of different subtypes of romance as well as some genre blends. So I read a lot of contemporary romance, dark romance, fantasy romance, horror romance, even the weird and sentient object smut. Yes, that is my cup of tea. So I'm going to start off with romance, and the first book that we have comes out on June 24th. It is Bed and Breakup by Susie Dumond. I read Looking for a Sign by this author and I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to see what this one's about. It looks like it's two exes reunite to fix up and sell the vacant bed and breakfast that destroyed their marriage. Some other buzzwords: small town, lovers to enemies to lovers romance, so it's kind of like a second chance. Then next up we have Write Me For You by Tilly Cole that comes out July 1st. There's no details on this yet, like there's literally no synopsis for it on NetGalley or Goodreads, but it's a young adult standalone about a girl's one chance to fall in love, so you know it's going to be probably a good tear-jerky time. Next up we have Zom Rom Com. Say that 5 times fast. This is by Olivia Dade. This comes out August 5th, and I know this one is a paranormal romance that has to do with zombies and vampires. Also on August 5th, we have Well Actually by Maisie Eddings. This is an enemies to lovers. I'm assuming it's a friends to enemies to lovers situation because it also says it's a second chance romance. Coming out on August 12th, we have Dream On by Jennifer Hartman. I love everything that Jennifer Hartman puts out. Every book that I've read by her has been a 5-star, so she is definitely one of my favorite authors to ever exist. So this is going to be a YA contemporary romance, a standalone crossover. I had to look that up because I didn't know what this term meant. I was like, does that mean it's a standalone and crosses over with other characters and other books? No. It means it starts when they're in high school, but most of the story starts to take place in the character's early 20s. So that's what that means. Another person that I will buy anything that she puts out, Emily Rath. She has Pucking Strong coming out on August 26th. This is another hockey romance book in her Jacksonville Rays series. It's actually the 4th book in the series. This is a male-male hockey romance, and I'm here for it. I'm so ready for it. I'm actually going to get to meet Emily Rath in September, so I'm very excited for that because I'll also be getting to meet Nevessa Allen that same day. Like, I'm so pumped for this event. Speaking of September, we have Crazy Spooky Love by Josie Silver coming out on September 2nd. This is going to be perfect for getting you into the spooky season mood. Even though October is technically the mark of spooky season, a lot of us kind of just get ready in September with the spooky, the fall vibes. Like, we're here for it. So this is a paranormal romance with ghosts. And I mean, like, look at this cover. It's adorable. Another super anticipated release on September 9th is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This is a small town contemporary romance featuring the friends to lovers trope. Alright, so I think that's all of my primarily romance books. So now I'm going to get into the fantasy books, which again will include some fantasy romance, some fantasy sci-fi, some fantasy horror. There's a lot of different genre blends within the fantasy section alone. First up, June 24th, we have Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Moss coming out. This was originally published on April 1st, 2022, but we have the audiobook that's being released. And I think the audiobook has its own cover as well. So I'll show you the original cover, and then I'll also show you the audiobook cover so that you kind of see what they both look like. They're both stunning. I love the color scheme of both of these books. So this is the first book in the Cruel Shiftverse. We have Psycho Shifters, Psycho Fae, and Psycho Beasts. This is a Why Choose with morally gray alpha heroes, a kick-ass heroine, and extreme enemies to lovers, which from my understanding might be a bully romance. Another one coming out on June 24th is One Dark Kiss by Rebecca Zanetti. This is the second book in the series, but I think they can be read as standalones. This is a modern dark romance twist on Snow White. It's a billionaire romance with a morally gray male, enemies to lovers, and marriage of convenience tropes. June 24th is a popular date because also on that date we have The King of Frost and Shadows by Jen L. Gray coming out. This is a steamy royal fae romantasy. Enemies to lovers, morally gray characters, the villain gets the girl. I like that. I like that trope. There's a gauntlet tournament. There's some political intrigue. Who did this to you? And touch her and die. This sounds like it's gonna be a fun book, and the special edition is stunning. On July 1st, we have Tenderly I Am Devoured by Lyndall Clipstone. This is a gothic romantasy where a young woman must bind herself to a dangerous chthonic demon with the help of the son of a rival family to save her family's legacy and herself from ruin. That is all I gathered from that book. A very much anticipated release. It's one of the ones that I have pre-ordered. I think I pre-ordered this last summer whenever it first got announced. July 8th, we have Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. This is a enemies to lovers, forced proximity with past and present timelines. I believe this one started originally as a fan fiction of She Who Must Not Be Named, but regardless, I'm very excited for this one. July 8th, we also have Ascension by S.T. Gibson. I read the first book in the series, Evocation, loved it, so I'm ready for this one. This is number 2 in the Summoner's Circle series. It's a queer urban fantasy with dark academia, so if it's a second in a series or beyond, I'm gonna not really talk about it too much because sometimes these books are continuations rather than a standalone in the series. So I'm not trying to spoil anything, but that's all you get. That's the tea. July 15th, we have Of Flame and Fury by Michaela Bridge. This is Fourth Wing meets Iron Widow, a YA romantasy featuring enemies to lovers. There's a lot of enemies to lovers going on, but you know what? I'm not mad at it because that's my favorite trope. July 15th is a very popular date as well. So we have The Nightshade God by Hannah Witten. This is number 3 in the Nightshade Crown series. Also on July 15th, The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Love this author. This one is a multi-generational horror saga that involves witchcraft. It follows 3 women in 3 different eras. So there's a little bit of a historical element to it, some gothic. This sounds like it'll be fun. On July 22nd, we have Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. Now, I haven't read anything by Elise Kova yet, but I hear good things about her work. This one is a dark academia about a woman who wields magical tarot cards, who lands herself in a false engagement with the headmaster of a mysterious academy. That sounds very fun. July 29th, I am so excited for this one. We have Wrath of the Dragons by Olivia Rose Darling. If you read Fear the Flames, you were dying for Wrath of the Dragons to come out. Like, I love this book. This might be one of my favorite books of 2025 so far. I can't say too much about this book without spoiling it because it is a continuation of the first book where you like left off on a cliffhanger. But if you read the first book, you know that it has lots of feminine rage. I feel like that book is a really good combination of Daenerys and I can't remember the main character's name in House of the Dragon, but she's from the same Targaryen family. Just the fact that they want their dragons and people keep trying to fuck with them. So like, I don't know. This just got me. It just got me, okay? On August 12th, we have Warrior Princess Assassin. I don't even need to put a little picture up here because I got a freaking physical arc. And I'm so excited I got this one because I'm loving it. I'm eating this shit up. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm loving it, okay? Like, I can't wait for you all to read this. This is so exciting. This comes out on August 12th, by the way. This is Bridget Kemmerer's adult debut. It follows 3 characters, a warrior, a princess, and an assassin. Basically, we have a warrior and a princess who are trying to join their kingdoms together to benefit both of their kingdoms. The princess kind of has some feelings for the assassin, and the assassin has an assignment to kill the princess and to kill the warrior. So, can you imagine the love triangle going on there? This is a very fun book and I cannot wait for everyone to read this one. Also, thank you. Thank you, Avon. Thank you so much for giving me this book. You are the GOAT. Like, please give me more books, please. I swear, not only did spring feed us with the fantasy books, summer is giving, okay? Because we have Fairy Tale coming out. It's already out, okay? This was already published in August 2022, but it's getting republished. I think because it got traditionally picked up. This is a dark gothic historical romance with horror, paranormal, and fantasy elements. It does not contain a traditional love triangle. I don't know what that means. It features a villainous love interest that would end the world for his beloved in an all-encompassing love story spanning millennia. Now this cover I think is even better than the first one, so I'm excited to get my hands on this one. August 19th, we have another book by one of my favorite authors, Sarah Reddy. She is putting out My Dear Illusion, which I think is potentially one of her first fantasy book that she's written. And this one is chunky, is all I know. But you know what? I'm gonna read it because I love her and I love her writing. August 28th, if you're looking for some cozy times, we have The Baby Dragon Bakery by A.T. Qureshi. This is a cozy fantasy with baby dragons and like, I don't know, I can't resist. The cover is so cute. The first book in the series was The Baby Dragon Cafe. Super cute, no spice, or very, very low spice, like some steam, a little steam. But it's so cute, okay? It's just so cute. Like if you have a teenager or you really like that young adult, maybe teenage range in your fantasy books, like this might be perfect for you. It's so cozy. Again, it's very low stakes. Just a cute little time, okay? The last fantasy book I have in this series is a very, very highly anticipated release. And if you couldn't tell, I love Rebecca Ross. So she has Wild Reverence coming out on September 2nd. From what I've heard, I think this might be somewhat related to the Letters of Enchantment series because I think it had more to do with Roman and Iris, but in the background it was like this whole war between the gods going on. So I think this one is giving us more of the gods perspective, which I'm so here for. I love books about gods. All right, switching gears, I'm gonna lump the mystery thriller and the horror all together. So first up on June 24th, I told you it's a popular date, we have Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. This is a psychological thriller about 3 women who are connected by one man. And I'm curious how they're connected. Is it like a love triangle? Is it like he dated all these people and cheated on them? Like what is it? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. On July 8th, we have The Good Samaritan by John Mars coming out. This was originally published in December 2017. It's getting republished with a fresh new cover and it has some minor edits that are going on, but nonetheless, it's coming out July 8th. July 8th, we also have Her Last Move by John Mars. It's another book being republished. This was originally published November 2018. Getting a fresh new cover and some fresh edits. Oh looky, July 8th, again, we have Our Last Resort by Clemence Miquelon. I have no idea if I'm saying that name right at all, but 15 years ago, Frida and her brother escaped a cult. Now her brother is the prime suspect in a murder investigation, and it isn't the first time. This alternates between past and present timelines. I'm also here for a good cult book, so I'm hoping this one is good. On July 22nd, The Library at Hellbore by Cassandra Caw. This is a horror fantasy with dark academia and a brief little snippet of the synopsis. It says it's a deeply dark academia novel for people who are hungry for something a little more diabolical. That got me. That whole tagline got me. So I'm very, very curious about this. July 25th, we have Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. This is a twisty thriller about a young woman trying to solve her own murder. And it's also the Host for Pros book club pick for August. So it'll be here just in time for us to start off our book club in August. If you have no idea what Host for Pros is, it is the book club that I run with my bestie Bree, who is at The Booktrovert on YouTube. I will link all the socials down below in case you want to join our book club and you want to follow Bree. So come join us in August for book club. Next up on July 29th, we have We Won't All Survive by Kate Alice Marshall. So it seems like 2 years ago, we're following a character who was praised as a hero for saving lives during a mall shooting, and she still carries some souvenirs from that incident, like the fragment of a bullet lodged in her back, a mountain of medical debt, and guilt for ignoring her sister's warnings that the sweet boy next door was anything but. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I want to go into this very, very blind. On August 5th, we have The Locked Ward by Sarah Pekkanen. This is a psychological thriller about the complex bonds of sisterhood and what happens when they are stretched to the breaking point. If you guys have a sister, you know they drive you crazy. But I love you, Clarissa. I love you. On August 12th, we have Lucky Day by Chuck Tingle. This is a queer horror with some sci-fi elements. This cover looks really cool, and Chuck Tingle just writes some really fantastic stuff, so I'm excited for this one. I thought this was so funny. This is the tagline for this book. One woman must go up against the most horrifying concept of all. Nothing. Nothing. All right. On August 26th, we have How Bad Things Can Get by Darcy Coates. Darcy Coates is well loved in the horror community. I, however, have yet to find one that I love by her, but I'm determined. So I'm excited to see what this one's about. On September 9th, I'm super excited for Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. I love this cover. This one is HGTV meets Hellspawn. A woman must confront the demons of her past when she attempts to fix up her childhood home. I saw this next part in a Goodreads review that I was like, I have to share this because this just sounds so intriguing. A devilishly clever tale where the true demons aren't just in the walls. They're in the family tree. Equal parts haunted house horror and psychological family drama, this slow burn stunner peels back layers of paint and pain, one cracked wall in childhood memory at a time. I love the little metaphors that are weaved into this person's review, and that just made me really excited to read this book. On September 16th, we have The Whistler by Nick Medina. This is an indigenous horror. And the first line in the synopsis really sold me on this one. It says, for fear of summoning evil spirits, native superstition says you should never ever whistle at night. So now I'm like, ooh, what's gonna happen? On September 16th, we have another one I'm super excited for. The Dead of Summer by Ryan LaSala. All I can really tell you about this one is that it's a queer YA horror. Finally, we have The Girl I Was by Geneva Rose coming out on July 15th. This was first published in 2021, so it's getting republished with a new cover. It has sci-fi elements and time travel. So I am so excited for a stacked summer list. I know there's probably tons of other books coming out that I missed. If I missed any or you've written any that come out this summer, please leave them down below. Let me know what your summer anticipated reads are, and if we have any of the same ones, I'd love to set up some buddy reads for this summer. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!